So I'm here today to explain how my invention, the IQ Cube, also known as the thingy flip, is going to fix our education system. Seems like a bit of a silly sort of a statement that a little toy is going to fix our education system, but it's true. So there's a lot of information that you need to totally understand how this is going to happen. Firstly, it's probably my story in how did I invent the thingy flip. So as a child, I was dyslexic and ADHD. When I sat down at the desk, basically everything was a blur. I was a bit of a rat bag at school, so I was spitballs in the back of the heads of other kids, got the cane regularly, did really stupid things, like one day in the middle of summer I thought, in the backyard, I thought the bonfire, gee, that's full, it's got a lot of stuff there, better light that up. And of course I burnt down the whole backyard. So doing just really dumb things. And it was all because my right and left hemispheres weren't connected. But I was an F grade student too, by the way. I loved balls though. And for some strange reason, my body wanted me to learn how to juggle. And it took me a little while, and I learnt to juggle. It was about 12 months to 2 years to learn. But in learning to juggle, I was learning to focus and concentrate. And suddenly everything became clear on the desk, and my grades went up to C grades. So it helped me tremendously, and also with friends, and no longer doing stupid things anymore. So I was learning to think before I acted, which was a big benefit to me as well. In my 20s, I wondered, why did juggling help me so much? So I actually looked it up. And I found that they'd done a lot of research on juggling, and with groups of 50 people, they did 25 who learnt to juggle over a 3-month period. They did MRIs at the beginning and MRIs at the end, and discovered that the jugglers had 3% more grey matter, which was amazing. But they also discovered that after a period of time not juggling, it dropped back from 3% to 2%. So that was really interesting. I then looked up IQs and discovered that the IQ test was invented in France in about 1903. And in 1935, a guy called Flynn discovered that IQs were going up by 2 to 3% every 10 years, which doesn't seem like much, but actually it's a lot. And that was happening right through until in 2000, they discovered that IQs were going down by 2 to 3%, about the same amount every 10 years. So I wondered why that was happening. Really, 37 years later, what happened was I bought a 3D printer, and I was lying in bed thinking about all those things. I was also thinking about knuckles, where we used to pick up 5 knuckles, throw them in the air and catch them on the other side of our hand. And I thought, well, why can't we catch on all 5 sides of our hands? So that's how the thingy flip was invented. And so some interesting stuff, that other thoughts in my head. In 1850, tennis became big. Wimbledon, I believe, started around about then. Baseball, basketball, all these sports were sort of invented. We played more and more sport through the 1800s, and then in the 1900s, the Industrial Revolution, I believe, was caused a lot by humans using their eye-hand coordination a lot more in sport. Right through 1900s through to around about, they've worked out now, 1970, 1980, IQs were going up along with the amount of sport that we were all playing. And then of course TVs and screens have taken away our sport eye-hand coordination in the backyard. So after school nowadays, kids are straight home into the lounge room. They're pretty good with their thumbs nowadays, but they're not so great with a ball. I've been working with a few schools now, and I've discovered that our children's eye-hand coordination is pretty terrible. So they're not getting that 2 hours every day of throwing balls in the backyard and lots of sport. In fact, in America anyway, 70% of all children are retiring from sport at the ripe old age of 13, which is amazing. So all these things are connected. Our education system currently is in turmoil. It's been dysfunctional for 40 years now. So the last time we really performed in our educational results was 1980. And of course, since then, 3% every 10 years. That's 4 times 4, 3, 6, 9. We're roughly 12% dumber now than we were in 1980, which is pretty amazing. So the invention of the thingy flip IQ Cube is all about hyper eye-hand coordination. So if you're playing 2 sets of tennis, it takes about an hour and a half. You've got to hope that it's not raining. You've got to hope you've got someone to play with. There's a lot of organising to do. When you do play, you'll get around about 570 shots, which is pretty cool. With the thingy flip, you can do 570 flips or eye-hand coordinations in around 6 minutes. Oh, I can, but about 10 minutes for a child. So it's hyper eye-hand coordination. So we brush our teeth every day. We spend 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes brushing our teeth in the morning and 2 minutes at night. I think the solution to our problems, particularly in education, is getting kids to not only clean their teeth but do something for their brains in doing some eye-hand coordination. And 2 minutes a day is going to be twice a day is fantastic. So I've been working with around about 100 kids at schools, and we've been counting the number of catches each week that kids can get. So in the first week, on average, over 100 children, we could only get 3.4 tosses and catches before they dropped it. In week 2, we got 7.3. In week 3, we got 13. In week 4, we got 16. In week 5, we got 27. And in week 6, we got 34. So kids are massively behind with their eye-hand coordination in when you can see them improve that quickly. So what I am hoping you will do is get a thingy flip for your child and for yourself and increase your eye-hand coordination, which is going to help you in all areas of life. We also have programs that we're starting in schools right now, so inquire on our website about getting your school to use the thingy flip as a class program, and let's fix our education system.